more for Ken's store? Slapper Gannett's. Slapper Gannett's. Kinsho, respond to me.
Welcome to Tranquility Falls, and our first goal is just to buy and use a massage table. We have to delete this couch nobody wants, and the massage table costs a whopping 5,000 simoleons and another 50 to program it. Talk about a ripoff. Our next goal is to introduce ourselves to Larry, who apparently owns the place, and since we don't need any more friends, introducing ourselves is all we're going to do. Before we do our next goal, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that massage table and get our $5,000 back, because that is a lot of money. Our next goal is, strangely enough, to gain a point in mechanical, which has nothing to do with anything here, but we needed to buy a bookshelf to accomplish that. While Jard's busy studying, we can move over to Chantel and see what she wants from life, which is apparently to sleep, even though her sleep need is almost full. She actually wants to change her appearance, but I like the clothes she has, so let's just make a few changes to her hair. Next, she wants a big-ass fountain, and there's really only one thematically appropriate place to put it, and that would be where the hot tub is, so we gotta get everyone out of the hot tub and move them away from the hot tub before we can actually place it. Now, getting rid of the hot tub may seem kind of mean, but all the Sims do is sit in there and never get anything else done, so this works out. Next, we've got to add a whole room to the place, which means just closing off this area with walls, and we could stop there, but we're not lazy. We're going to give it matching wallpaper and place a few lanterns too. We're not terrible people. Many of Chantel's wants involve renovating the place like this, as her intro may have implied, and even a couple of Jard's wants cover this sort of thing. After we're done with that, Jard is already done studying mechanical because he did only need the one skill point from it after all. Then we flip back over to Chantel, whose next gold want is to buy any object at all, and I mean, that sounds like a perfect excuse to get the espresso machine. We're thinking strategically here in The Sims 2, the kind of strategy that only comes with the clairvoyance of having played this location before. Back to Chantel again, she wants to renovate even more, and she wants to buy lights this time. Would you look at that, there are new walls we just made that could use 4 lights, exactly like the one she wants. Now it's already time for her second to last gold want, which requires mastering the creativity skills. She's only at 7 out of 10, so we need to give her something that she can work at constantly, unlike the easel, where she stops as soon as she paints a picture. Since she doesn't have a job, we can just force her to play on the piano over and over and over and only get up to fulfill her sleep need before coming back to do it again. And now let's buy these people a fridge, because in spite of this place looking really fancy, they have no way to get food. As we're eating, we get the warning a car for Larry will arrive in an hour, which is not good, because Larry's first gold want is not to go to work, but Jard goes to work at around the same time, which means we're going to have to do a bit of juggling. The easiest way to keep Larry from work is just to make him do something else, like make espresso. After you cancel his initial desire to go to work, he's just happy to goof off doing whatever. Meanwhile, Chantel is still playing the piano. That's good, that's what we want her to be doing. Most of Larry's gold wants involve humor or fun, as his intro implied, and my favorite prank you can do on the phone, which is his next gold want, is to fart. Classy. Next, he wants anything over 500 simoleons, so we're going to go ahead and set him up by buying a desk, chair, and a computer, which will come into play later. Then we actually need to grab another sim to cooperate with us, so that way they can play a game with Larry. Thankfully, there's already a video game that this place comes with, but I think any game would do the trick. Immediately after playing a video game, Larry decides he wants to design one, and even though this rarely works out in real life, it works out here, and that's why we bought Larry the computer in the first place. Follow your dreams, Larry, your fragile little dreams. Chantel is still playing the piano as she should be, but she can take a brief break to talk to Larry and become his friend, since that is Larry's next gold want. Being friends with her is thankfully easy because she takes our compliments without a fight. Then Larry wants to fulfill his fun need, which, as you might imagine, is already pretty high from his previous gold wants, so we just have to kinda stand here at the game machine for a few seconds. Lastly, and finally, we get to see what a nauseous meal looks like, because Larry's next gold want is to make one and give it to somebody. The reason for the fish tank is because seafood seems to most easily produce the nausea effect. I couldn't tell you why, but it does. It's not enough just to put the ingredients together though, we have to give him somewhere to turn it into a meal, otherwise the nausea effect will not happen. Then we just have to give the meal to Candy, who's currently headed to bed, but we should be able to stop her in time. We couldn't stop her in time, so we switched over to her to try and wake her up, and then we're going to switch back to Larry to quickly give her the food. Larry picked up the food by himself. Oh my god, he's eating it. On the bright side, while Larry's vomiting his guts out, he can take comfort knowing that Jard made a lot of money at work. I haven't given up yet though. We're going to wake Candy up again and block her from getting into the bed, and we just need to get over to the other side before she can lie down again. She decided to circumvent our plans by running to the other bedroom, but we have a backup plan. We're going to put down the food and then scream at her until she wakes up. Bellowing our lungs out at her 3 times doesn't get anything accomplished, and I swear I'm trying my hardest here, so we're going to switch back over to Candy to wake her up again. Hopefully Larry will stay there long enough for us to grab the food again. Oh, he's picking it up himself. And he's eating it again. You know, Larry, look, you have no one but yourself to blame for this development. Alright, let's grab Candy and get her away from the bed. Okay guys, look, no, I know you're tired and hungry, but that food is not for eating. Guys, no, look, it's a practical joke. Just back off. Candy, put the food down. So Candy's dumb fuck AI grabbed the food by itself and started eating it, which does not fulfill Larry's gold want of giving it to her. You know what, this is close enough. This is good enough. Now let's quickly get Jar to the espresso machine before he actually has to sleep. He was tired enough to eat nauseous food to get energy. That's really bad. You know what, Chantel, fuck it. You want to pick up the nauseous food and eat it off the ground? Everybody else already has. I can't cancel the command fast enough. Go ahead, eat it and vomit. See if I care. Now let's get rid of this damn thing because it apparently emits some kind of irresistible siren call. With that mess out of the way, now it's time for Chantel to get back to the piano, which is where she's going to be for almost the entire rest of this location. This is how you gain creativity, right? This is exactly how this works. That's what The Sims has taught me. This is how you do it. You know, I just realized we haven't talked to Billy the whole time we were here. We might as well give him a call, see what he's up to. Oh, it's apparently 3 AM and I didn't notice. We might as well call a maid instead to make it look like we were actually doing something smart over here, not trying to call our husband at 3 AM. I wonder if this is what the developers envisioned when they put the Get Chantel to 10 Creativity Gold want into the game, because I imagine this is what people did. As you might have seen, her social need is pretty low, so she does have to start talking to someone or else she'll start crying, which is unfortunate, because we really need to get this done. Come on, Chantel, can't you realize the importance of this? Jard's already headed off for another day of work, which is good because we have no money. We spent all of it on Chantel. She better really like these renovations. I wanted to make a joke about how Chantel broke down and started playing the piano with a hammer, but this is just what happens when you click play experimental music, because The Sims thinks it's really funny. And while she's doing that, we can see the power of the computer. In The Sims 2 on PS2, Sims will always gravitate toward a computer. If there's a computer in a house, someone will be sitting there playing it until they die. That's just what happens. It's a terrible device. Back to Chantel immediately, and she's already on 9 creativity. It took much less time with her because she doesn't have a job to go to. We're almost there. This may seem like a strange gold want, but it makes sense with Chantel's character description. It's just really time-consuming. After she kills herself getting that last skill point, we destroy the piano and buy an easel, because she wanted something more than 500 simoleons, and the easel is 750, plus we get all that money back from the piano. Jard gets home shortly after, and he wants a defective arcade genie lamp. This thing can wreak havoc if you actually use it. Thankfully, his want is only to buy it, so we just go ahead and sell it immediately after and get all our money back. Now he has the much more sensible want of building a room just like Chantel. We put a dishwasher next to the counter so that the counter wouldn't look out of place, and of course we're going to decorate the room all nice. We also put screen doors at the sides of the room so that way people can actually reach the outside sections of the home. We go to check back on Chantel, and she predictably wants a career in art now, but this guy is still using the computer, so we have to make him budge first, which is difficult. He's been here pretty much the whole time since Larry stopped using it. The reason Chantel needs the computer is because she can search for 5 jobs, which gives her a higher chance of finding the art career. With the newspaper, you can only search for 3 per day. However, even after we do move Gil, she complains that she's in too bad a mood to job search, so we have to talk on the phone for a while to get her social need back up. Eventually, she does get that career in art from the computer, though if she didn't, she'd just have to wait a few hours for the sites to refresh, because that's how it works. And that was Chantel's last gold want. We only have a few more for Jard. But before we leave, I feel like doing something nice, so we're going to put 3 separate arcade cabinets in this house because I know how much Larry likes games, and maybe that'll keep Gil away from the computer. Jard's final gold want for this location is to go somewhere else. No, not the new location, we haven't unlocked that yet, we just have to go anywhere else. And you know, I think I know where we want to visit. We haven't talked to Billy this whole time. But let's grab espresso real quick. Man, could you even imagine how inefficient Jard's life would be if he had to sleep? It's just ridiculous. I don't know how people do it. It seems a little bit strange that the espresso machine is smoking like that, but we can probably repair it immediately after we finish drinking this espresso. Come on, Jard. Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. There we go. So something that remarkably hasn't happened until this point is that the espresso machine can break and make your sim vomit. It seems to be completely random whether it breaks or not, but you know, we got enough energy back from that. Okay, let's say goodbye to Tranquility Falls and go see how Billy's doing. It appears that Billy was making out with himself in the mirror. I mean, I guess he does really like himself, but we're here, so now he can make out with us instead. I think this was a good note to end on. I mean, you know, Jard needs to be reminded that he has someone who's always going to be there. Now that we've unlocked the new location, I'll see you guys next time for the penultimate level.